And just when fans thought Shin Min Ah might finally disappear from the spotlight for a while, disappear into newlywed bliss, late mornings, private trips, and that rare kind of peace celebrities almost never get, she did the exact opposite. She came back. Or at least, she announced she was coming back. And the timing alone was enough to send the internet into a frenzy. Because according to entertainment media chatter and fan discussions, Shin Min Ah revealed details of her next acting project while still believed to be on honeymoon with Kim Woo Bin, a move that instantly earned her one unexpected title online: the fastest comeback queen. The reactions were immediate. Shock, admiration, and, of course, gossip. Fans weren't just talking about the project, they were talking about what it meant. What it said about her mindset, her priorities, and her place in an industry that rarely allows women, especially married women, to move this freely. Social media timelines filled with variations of the same thought. She didn't even take a break. Is she serious? This woman is unstoppable. And then came the deeper questions. Was this planned long before the wedding celebrations? Was it her agency pushing the announcement early? Or was Shin Min Ah quietly making a statement that marriage wouldn't slow her down, redefine her, or push her into the background? Because historically, for actresses especially, marriage has often been treated like a soft exit. Not official, not announced, just a gradual fade. Fewer projects. Longer gaps. Different expectations. But Shin Min Ah's announcement shattered that pattern almost immediately. According to industry buzz, the project itself had been in discussion for months. Script readings were reportedly done quietly. Scheduling carefully mapped out to avoid overlap with personal commitments. Everything handled with precision. Still, fans couldn't get over when the news dropped. Not months later. Not after a long break. But right in the middle of what many assumed would be her most private chapter yet. That contrast, honeymoon energy paired with career ambition, is what made the story explode. Online forums lit up with praise, especially from women who saw something powerful in the timing. "This is what it looks like when a woman doesn't shrink her life," one comment read. "She didn't pause her dreams to start a family," said another. But of course, not everyone saw it the same way. Some questioned whether the pressure to announce early reflected deeper industry expectations. Others wondered if Shin Min Ah even wanted the news out so soon, or if the machinery of entertainment simply never sleeps. And then came the gossip layer. Because once fans realized she was still reportedly traveling with Kim Woo Bin, speculation took a sharper turn. People began dissecting photos, travel timelines, outfit choices, body language. Not maliciously, but intensely. The idea that she could be balancing romance, rest, and work simultaneously fascinated people. "She's literally living 3 lives at once," one fan joked. But behind the humor was genuine awe. Kim Woo Bin's name also trended alongside the announcement, though he himself remained silent. Fans noted the contrast, Shin Min Ah stepping forward professionally, Kim Woo Bin staying low-key and protective of privacy. That dynamic only fueled admiration. Many pointed out how rare it is to see a celebrity couple where both partners seem so secure in each other's space. No competition. No forced appearances. No performative statements. Just quiet support, and then back to work. As news outlets picked up the story, headlines leaned into the drama of it all. Still on honeymoon, already booked. No rest for the beloved star. Marriage didn't slow her down. Each headline feeding the narrative of Shin Min Ah as someone who refuses to be boxed in. But what really made the story stick was the tone of fan reaction. This wasn't outrage. This wasn't concern. It was pride. Pride that she was choosing momentum. Pride that she wasn't apologizing for it. Pride that she seemed fully in control of her own timeline. And perhaps that's why the phrase super fast comeback caught on so quickly. It wasn't meant as criticism. It was admiration disguised as surprise. As discussions deepened, fans began revisiting Shin Min Ah's career trajectory, pointing out that this wasn't actually out of character at all. She has always moved with quiet confidence. Never chasing hype, never disappearing too long, never oversharing. This announcement simply made that pattern impossible to ignore. And still, the most talked about detail wasn't the genre of the new project, or even the role itself. It was the symbolism. A woman starting a new chapter in her personal life, and refusing to pause her professional one. By the time the conversation reached international audiences, the narrative had shifted again. Now it wasn't just about Shin Min Ah's speed, it was about what her choices represent in a changing industry. One where women no longer have to choose between love and ambition. One where marriage doesn't equal retreat. And one where announcing your next role from a honeymoon doesn't feel shocking, just powerful. By the end of the week, one thing was clear. This wasn't just a comeback. It was a message. And fans were listening. What made the story even more fascinating was how effortlessly Shin Min Ah let the conversation exist without stepping in to control it. No clarification posts. No personal statements. No attempt to explain herself. She simply allowed the work to speak. And in an industry obsessed with narratives, that silence was loud. Entertainment insiders noted that this kind of confidence doesn't come from nowhere. It comes from years of stability, trust with production teams, and a reputation that speaks before announcements ever do. Shin Min Ah didn't need to convince anyone she could handle another project. Everyone already knew. That's why the praise kept rolling in, not just from fans, but from colleagues, critics, and even younger actors who openly cited her as an example of how to build longevity without burning out. She moves at her own pace, one commentator said. And somehow, it's always the right one. Meanwhile, gossip columns couldn't resist speculating about how Kim Woo Bin fit into all of this. Some painted him as the ultimate supportive partner. Others suggested that the stability of their relationship is exactly what allows Shin Min Ah to move so freely. Fans, of course, had their own theories. Many pointed out that Kim Woo Bin himself understands the unpredictability of the industry better than most. That shared understanding, they believe, creates space rather than pressure. And then there was the romantic framing, the idea that somewhere between private dinners, travel, and quiet moments away from cameras, Shin Min Ah was also reading scripts, taking calls, and planning her next move. That image alone captured people's imagination. Because it felt real. Not glamorous in a polished way, but grounded in how modern life actually works. You don't pause everything else just because you're happy. You carry happiness with you. As anticipation for the new project grew, fans began speculating about what kind of role she would choose next. Would it be intense? Soft? Transformative? Something that reflected her current stage of life? The answers didn't matter as much as the excitement itself. Because regardless of the role, Shin Min Ah had already achieved something quietly radical, she reframed the narrative. She showed that a woman can celebrate love without disappearing into it. And that, more than any headline, is why this story refused to fade. By the time the conversation slowed, the phrase super fast comeback no longer sounded shocking. It sounded earned. And if this is how Shin Min Ah begins her next chapter, balanced, bold, and unapologetically present, fans are already certain of one thing. This isn't the end of the story. It's just the beginning.